I worked for the last couple of years in a place called a mill shop. A mill and a door shop. I got hired on as an assistant painter because they stain doors and trim, like these doors and trim right here. You can see that this is your door here, your trim is around the outside, and a lot of rich people like to have this done in their houses, so we do that. Anyway, one of my co-workers, an older gentleman, said, "Randy, if you don't know anything about wood, then you should practice." So I talked to my wife, and my wife said, "I will either buy you a brand new 2015 Toyota pickup, or I will buy you a wood shop." Now by the time she got the money up for $32,000 for a truck I want, it probably wouldn't happen. So I took the money and ran. I said, "All right, wife, I'm going to order all these things from my wood shop." And I will get into why I'm doing it. I have a Craftsman router table that I'm building. All of these things have never been plugged in. Never. They've never been used. So you're seeing this for the first time. This is a 3/4 horse 14 or 15 inch, not a drill table, it's a it escapes me now, whatever that is. Anyway, I just built that. I just got this in. This is a Craftsman 14 inch bandsaw. Okay, this is all for my woodworking that I'm going to take up. Now remember, I'm a painter. I look at everything through painter's eyes. A car painter. This is a what's called a fence, and it's made by a company called Krieg over here. Krieg. And what I have is, in my woodworking, I have a bunch of dyes. Yellow, Merlot, orange, amber, vintage cherry, blue. A lot of these colors you just don't use, but I'm gonna check them out. This is the fence, and anything Krieg is very nice but very expensive. I have to be accurate. This right here is a joiner for what I'm going to be doing. Remember, none of this stuff has been plugged in or anything like that. We go over here, and I have a Craftsman ripping saw, which hasn't been used. And I just bought these two Craftsman. They looked really nice in the on the internet, but they aren't that great. But I got them on sale before Christmas. These are Craftsman boxes. On top of one of the boxes is a spindle sander, which I've never used. I've never even taken off the wax paper here. But I guess what happens is, if you're going to do woodwork, the spindle sander goes up and down, and you got different sizes. I have my Makita miter saw here, 10 inch, and I also have another sander from the Craftsman. And what I'm going to do is this. I met a gentleman that gave me some of these wood burls, or actually I bought them. A burl is like a tumor or a growth on an old growth tree, and what they do is they cut them off just like they cut off a pimple off of a, well, you can imagine. Anyway, some of these pimples are 100 pounds. But the wood inside is very, very, the shape of the grain is very different than regular wood. And I'm going to take, and that's quilted maple right there. And I have other pieces. But I'm going to cut them on the bandsaw to about 1/2 inch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use all these neat little tools, and I'm going to make little jewelry boxes. Now, this is a wooden box, not a jewelry box. But with my skill, I'm going to make these little boxes and paint them with clear and polish them with exotic woods. This right down here, which I got, that right there is teak. But it's not, teak is kind of expensive. But these are pieces that were joined together. It's not a complete, it's 2 1/4 inches wide, which if it was one solid plank, would be worth a lot of money. But it's not. But I'm going to take these exotic woods, and I have some walnut, and I'm going to make some really cool jewelry boxes, and you can make a lot of money out of them. Also, I have some great lighting, and I have, of course, my stereo, which, as you can see, is hooked up in just stereo, but I have extra speakers which I'm going to hang here and there. I know I'm talking too much, but I make these videos only once, and I'm an old man, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just recovering from carpal tunnel surgery I had 5 weeks ago. My hand was going numb when I was riding my racing bikes, my Dio, which is not here, it's at my other house. I would give it full throttle, and my hand would go numb, and I'd have to take it off and shake it. Especially, it's like when I'm playing my guitars, my Fenders and my Gibsons. Now I'm going to have to relearn that all over again. So that's what I've been doing. Now, I want to make a reply video for a gentleman who asked, and this is what you should do. Ask someone that owns one of these bikes. If you want a gyro, ask someone. Don't ask them what's great about it. Ask them what's fucked up about it. Ask them what problems you've had. Because asking doesn't cost you a dime, and it's much better than being arrogant and buying the thing for a lot of money and realizing, I got screwed. Now, I'm not saying I did, but asking questions does not cost you a dime, especially with the price of these bikes nowadays. Okay, now we're going to go over my big beef bitch with this Zuma. Next video.